Hi, everyone. We are joined by Jose Benavidez Sr., the father and trainer of David Benavidez, who is getting ready to get back into the ring later this summer. But it seems like David is still dealing with the fight outside of the ring with Canelo Alvarez and the fight that just isn't happening right now. Jose, we're fresh off the Jaime Munguia Canelo Alvarez press conference that took place in Los Angeles. We all saw Canelo had some choice comments in regards to the potential fight against David in the future. But before we get into all that stuff, maybe we can just set the record real quick. What kind of conversations and negotiations took place between Team Benavidez and Team Canelo in recent weeks and months before he eventually announced his fight with Hyman? If you could just kind of clear everything up for us.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, we were negotiating with Jaime Munguia and his team. Uh, we were negotiating before he fought Boo Boo, and then they decided they didn't want to do it. Then they came back after the Boo Boo fight, and we started negotiating. And out of the blue, we get this call, that the team of Canelo wanted to make that fight, but they said, okay, we're gonna make the fight, but we don't want any negotiations. We don't want to pay more than what it is. We're gonna pay $5 million, and that's it. We're gonna pay the minimum, and don't ask for nothing else if you guys want the fight. And I said, yeah, perfect, not a problem. Let's make the fight happen. We want the opportunity to get in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, and that's a fight that everybody wants to see. I mean, later big things will happen after that fight. We accepted, and I talked to David. David said not a problem, and we were ready to make things happen, and they disappear. I think they just wanted to say that because in their mind they thought I was going to ask for more money, or we were going to start saying that we wanted more money, so they can have an excuse of saying we offered them the fight, they wanted too much money, and that's why we couldn't make the fight. I told them, yes, let's make it happen, and then they just disappear. We didn't hear nothing back from them, and that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday, during the media gathering, Canelo denied the claim that his team offered Team Benavidez $5 million and they never heard back. So you're saying that's not the case?
Yeah, that's not the case. Like I said, I don't make those decisions. I don't offer that, and I don't do those things. Our promoter, our company came with that, and they said that. I didn't think they were lying, So at the end of the day, we all know that Canelo does not want to face the Mexican monster, you know. He doesn't want to make that fight. It doesn't matter, He tries to look for any excuse that he could say or whatever, Now he said that if they pay him 150, 200 million, he'll fight tomorrow. He's only looking for the payday, Now he's looking for payday. We just want the opportunity, to get in the ring and fight him, Now I think he's the one that doesn't I want to face David. I'm not going to use the word that I always use because that's getting old, but he doesn't want to face David. Mm-hmm. Now he wants to get paid 200 million. I think that's ridiculous. And at the end of the day, we're focused on our fight June 15. And we're going to train hard. We're training hard. We're staying focused to look spectacular and hopefully get an opportunity to fight for all the belts at 175 against the winner of Vibo and Beterbiev. That's what's in our mind right now. Canelo's not even in the picture right now. We're focused on that fight right now that we have. And let's see what happens after that. We could definitely come to 168 back. Not a problem.
Mm-hmm. Canelo also said yesterday that David brings nothing to the table for me. He just brings 25 extra pounds on the night of the fight. That was his quote. What is your reaction to that?
What do you think? How many pounds do you think Canelo brings into the fight? He's a heavy guy, he's a stocky guy. So like I said, this is getting very not frustrating, very old, of all I think finally we see a great champion, a fighter that was very dedicated and did everything he had to do in boxing fade away. I think this is the end of Canelo Alvarez. He knows that David's going to retire him. He knows that David can hurt him. He knows that David can stop him. You're fighting a young lion, 27 years old, with a good record, and has proven himself, that he is one of the best at 168. I do not think that he wants to take this chance.
Do you think his remark around the 25-pound statement, do you think that kind of alludes to the fact that he just knows David is bigger and stronger, and it's a different kind of competition at that point, kind of similar to how he had with Dimitri Bivol? Do you think he's kind of just staying away from the bigger, stronger fighter at this point?
When you hear Canelo say that David does not bring anything to the table, and then he fights Munguia, David has proven more than Munguia at 168. When you hear $200 million to fight David, when you hear 25 pounds, when you hear all these things, those are just excuses, man. He doesn't want to face David. He's trying to look. Now, all the fans that Canelo had are going to our side because we know that we're warriors. They know that we want to give them the fight that they won, but Canelo doesn't want to do that. So at the end of the day, everybody's losing faith in Canelo. Canelo is a great champion, but he's not going to retire as one of the greats because he's not facing David Benavidez, and everybody's going to tell him they're attacking him now with David Benavidez. And I think that in his mind all the time is going to be David Benavidez, the guy that you didn't want to face, the guy that you were scared of fighting.
I mean, 200 million is quite the number. He did say he's a businessman at this stage of his life and career, but still 200 million is quite the number. That's kind of like Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao level numbers at that point. Do you think this is perhaps a desperation attempt of sorts to kind of get the Saudi Arabians involved in kind of funding this fight? They seem to have an open checkbook policy. Do you think that's the only way this fight could be made at this point?
You know what? That would be great to go to Saudi Arabia and fight over there. I don't believe this guy. I don't think he would face David Benavidez. I'll be honest with you. He's terrified to face David Benavidez. If they offer that money, I don't know what else he's going to pull, and say, that's a lot of money to let go. I guarantee you that even though if they offer that kind of money, he's still not going to take the fight. And it's a great fight. It's a big fight. I mean, they're willing to pay to see this fight and to have this fight. I just don't think that he wants to face David Benavidez.
Do you another theme that evolved out of yesterday's press conference and media gathering, the word respect was used a lot. They made it seem as if Munguia showed a level of respect towards Canelo and the Munguia team to kind of win the sweepstakes for this fight. Obviously, you guys have taken a different approach by really pounding the table and calling for this fight, and perhaps even having some choice words for Team Canelo. And they said Team Munguia has been respectful and they deserved this fight. Well, what are your comments in regards to that?
I don't care about what they done or they did or whatever. He knows that Munguia brings less danger to his fight. We'll fight. We'll fight the same night, both of them, with David Benavidez. Because we feel that we're stronger, and David has proven that he's getting better and better and better. He knows that Munguia, it's an easy fight for him. I don't think it's going to be that easy, but in his mind, he thinks that it's an easier fight to make with Jaime Munguia. It doesn't really matter what they say or whatever. To be honest, we look at Fernando Vargas and Oscar De La Hoya and all these guys. They always used to talk a lot. That's what it is. Boxing, it's a thing that it's exciting to talk. And I mean, I think he's the great fighter. Canelo is. Why doesn't he come and shut our mouth up? I mean, that's another big excuse not to take that fight. That has not, to be honest, that's embarrassing. That's, I mean, to me, that's respectful or no respectful. At the end of the day, he wants to take our head off. He wants to send us to the hospital. He wants to knock David out, and we want to do the same thing. That's what it is. Boxing, that's what it is, Maybe next time whenever I try to make a fight, I'm gonna get a dozen of roses and send them, and with an invitation to make a fight. I think that's ridiculous, man. At the end of the day, Casamayor and he used to talk a lot of shit. Macho Camacho, Floyd Mayweather. He didn't say nothing when he made the fight with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather was talking a lot of shit. I'll guarantee you. The only thing that I can tell you right now, I'm sure with everything that's happening, and I guarantee you, Canelo is afraid of fighting David Benavidez. That is shown. It's shown through all these interviews and everything that's he coming up with. If he feels that he's the best and he's stronger than David, why doesn't he make the fight? Why all those excuses? I don't understand why he's coming up with now. He's just looking bad at the end of the day.
And of course, he's fighting a Mexican fighter for the second time since 2017. Throughout, which was Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at the time. Throughout the last few years, when conversations against the fight, conversations for a fight against Benavidez have taken place, he said, "I wouldn't want to fight a Mexican fighter." And here we have him fighting, of course, a Mexican native fighter. I know David is part Mexican with other heritage as well too. What do you make of that move as well too? Kind of contradicting to what's been said in the past.
Well, I think that, yeah, he said that he wouldn't face another Mexican fighter because he was referring to David. He didn't want to face David. Now he sees that there's a possibility, an opportunity to fight Jaime Munguia, a guy that's been improving little by little, but he gets hit too much. I think with one hit like that with Canelo, I think Canelo can send him and knock him out, I think Canelo's going to win this fight. He's going to struggle a little bit. I don't think he's going to stop Munguia. Because at the end of the day, Munguia is a strong fighter. He's young, he's strong. But I think I see Canelo beating Jaime Munguia, and that's what they want to guarantee, a win. That's why they seen an opportunity here with the Mexican fighter, and he's willing to get paid less. But at the end of the day, he knows that he has an opportunity to win. With David, I don't think even his team or him believe that they can win. That's why they're not taking the chance.
I think the fact that you're also picking Canelo to beat Munguia shows still the level of respect that you have for his skills at this stage of his career.
Well, it's not respect. We've seen Munguia, he's been struggling with all these fighters. He gets hit all the time. He gets hurt. One way or another, he comes back. But at the end of the day, who's he fighting? Guys that Ryder got beat the whole rounds with Canelo, maybe, and he was retired. They brought him back to make him look good, to make this fight. Before that, Munguia got hurt. Every fight that he fights, I don't have nothing against him. I think his defense is bad, and I don't see him improving. Everybody wants to say, yeah, he's improving to take him to this fight. They have to say that. But at the end of the day, I think David will beat both in one night at the same time.
With the fight, there's also a rematch clause. Apparently, there's only been 2 other times Canelo has had a rematch clause in his contract for fights. Once against Floyd Mayweather in 2013 and against Chavez in 2017. What do you make of the fact that there's also a rematch clause baked in that? And is that something that you would be willing to offer? Would you be willing to offer maybe a rehydration clause if he's worried that David might be too big? Are you willing to make some consolations to make
like I said, us, with Caleb Plant, he asked for a lot of clause and a lot of stuff. We gave him everything he wanted. With Boo Boo, he wanted some things. We gave him everything he wanted. With Canelo, we gave him everything he wanted too, in order to make that fight. Munguia was negotiations. We gave him everything he wanted. So we just want the fight. We just want the opportunity to show the people that David's the best at 168. We're just looking for opportunities and making history. That's all we care right now. Money will come. We can't focus on money, Money will come. Once you do a good job, money will come. But at the end of the day, we're just looking to make history and give the fans what they want. We want to give them good, exciting fights. They've been asking about this fight for almost 3 years. David's been mandatory for 3 years, and still yet nothing happened. So we're just patient. Like I said, that's why we decided to go to 175 in order to leave this behind us for now. But it's just getting worse. It's getting worse and worse and worse. We're here focused on our fight at 175 with a great fighter in order to see if we can get an opportunity to fight Benavidez and be both. And there we go again, Canelo, 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 we're here. Let's make it happen. We're willing to make that fight happen.
So just to go back, yes or no, would you be open to a rehydration clause if that's kind of the missing ingredient?
I already said we're willing to do anything to make this fight. We said yes when the negotiations were done. Now I'm just getting sick of all this, Now he had it easy. I don't know. I don't know. I will have to really sit down and negotiate, because he said that no, there was no negotiations. I mean, now he's lying, so at the end of the day, I mean, they're playing this game now, but I think it's just getting worse on their end, it's catching up to them. It's catching up to all the lies. Everything stays recorded, and we can go back and look at what he said, what I said. We're here to make those fights happen. That's all we want. We want to make history, and that fight could be made easy right away. So we will have to see what he wants, to make the boy happy, and so he can make a payday.
Let's move forward really quickly. Obviously, David's career is going to go on. He had an outstanding banner 2023, beating Caleb Plant via a unanimous decision, comfortably stopping and dominating Demetrius Andrade. He was shortlisted as a fighter of the year. He's climbing up the pound for pound rankings. And now all signs are pointing to a June 15 light heavyweight debut against Alexander Gvozdyk, correct?
Yes.
And of course, you try to get away from Canelo, and Gvozdyk, of course, has ties to Team Canelo. But let's talk about that fight with Gvozdyk. Why was right now the perfect time for David to be making his run at 175 pounds?
Well, like I said, what do we have at 168 right now? We thought we had Munguia, so they made that fight. So I think the best thing for us right now at this point, what makes sense, is going up to 175, fighting for the interim WBC world title, and hopefully, I think that will be an easy fight to make. Benavidez will be the winner of that. They don't have that as much power as Canelo has, and they're willing to fight whoever. I mean, it's not like they could do whatever they want. Canelo, I think he's in a position that, he's proven it. He's doing it, whatever he wants, and that's why everybody's upset with the organizations and all that, because at the end of the day, they're not being fair with their rules and everything that they believe in. I think now also they feel pressure. I just believe that I hope they do the right thing. We've been mandatory for 3 years. They said they were going to strip Canelo in March. Nothing has happened. Now they say September. So at the end of the day, we need to stay busy. I think that's a great fight for us at 175, fight for that interim belt, and hopefully have an opportunity to fight for all those belts at 175.
It sounds like Gervonta Davis is going to fight Frank Martin on that same night. Is that still the plan as well too? David being
that's the plan. Fighting the same card. It will be a great card. It's an honor for us to fight in the same card, and Gervonta's happy with us fighting in the same. I think that's just going to bring more viewers, and it's an exciting night of fights. With Amazon Prime, so we're super excited about that. And everything's ready to go. In a few days, they will announce it, where the venue is going to be at, and all that. But like I said, right now we're focused on staying focused. It's a very important fight, and we just got to continue proving ourselves to the right moment.
Does Canelo Munguia, let's say Munguia ends up losing, is that something where you guys go straight back down to 168 and try to do a better job than what Canelo did? Is that kind of in an ideal way? Are you guys fighting Munguia on Mexican Independence Day weekend?
Yeah, we're ready for whatever, man. Like I said, we're ready. We're focused on the fight at 175. See what happens with them. We can easily come down to 168. That would be a great fight. We're just ready to fight whoever. So that would be great. Whoever wins, we're still there at 168. We're still there at 175. So whatever comes first. We're not gonna sit here and wait to see what happens. We're gonna continue looking to make history our ways and see what's better and what presents first. If that 5% themselves first to fight Bivol Betevier, we'll do that. If not, we'll go down to 168 and try to chase whoever. At least I think we have better opportunities and we'll be in a better position.
Hmm. I mean, not to get too ahead of ourselves, Jose, but do you see David making a heavyweight run towards the end of his career?
Yeah, no, I don't know, to be honest with you, man. We gotta wait and see. Right now, we're like I said, we're focused on 168, now 175, and see what happens. Only time would tell. He has the height, and I think definitely he could become a cruiserweight or a heavyweight, maybe, in the future. But to be honest, that will be something that will be great, and hopefully it happens. But first, we got to stay here, capture whatever we can in these divisions, and then see. I think it's a great sport. It's a good thing, and we'll do it little by little and see where we at.
Hmm. So sounds like you have the roadmap in front of you, with the Gvozdyk fight happening on June 15. If if Canelo comes calling at any point, I'm sure you'll be ready. Obviously, you have your eyes on the winner of Bivol Beterbiev. They'll be fighting June 1st. I'm sure you'd be interested in a Munguia fight as well too, and a Berlanga fight. I think you guys have a lot of great options
Yeah,
moving forward, and it's all about getting the right opportunities at the right time.
yeah. I think the offer might come from Saudi. I don't think they're shy about putting the money. So I hope if they come up with 150 million, I think that will motivate Canelo to go in the ring and retire. So, uh, I don't think that fight is gonna happen, but I'm being positive and optimistic, to I mean whoever, we're here. We're here at 168, 175. If it happens, it happens. If not, like I said, we're gonna continue to keep working hard and trying to give you guys the best fights that we can.